Good morning, Vande Matram. Welcome all of you. Here we are discussing on psychic transformation part 9. Almost with at the end part. Episode 9. Mostly we will focus on experiencing identity of soul with Jivatma. Experiencing identity of soul or psychic being with Jivatma. That is the topic of discussion in our short discussion on psychic transformation. It is part 9. Initially we have seen spirit and the nature are not separate but one. Just in the last class we have the glimpse, and simultaneously we have covered something around attending cosmic consciousness, attainment of cosmic consciousness. We have seen briefly, and here we will see experiencing identity of psychic with Jivatma. So one more line I want to add here. Reaches radiance domain of deathless sun in a house of transparent truth and light. How you will feel it? The domain, radiance domain of deathless sun. Sun, deathless sun, that is also practicable, because round the clock you can find the sun on above your head. Sometimes for a part time, maybe for 12 hours you are seeing in one part of the globe, and in another part you are finding the next. It is actually deathless, but here it is domain of deathless sun in a house of transient truth, transparent truth and the light. That is very interesting, very important. You will be facing some sort of excitement. Definitely you will be feeling some sort of excitement, how to reach it, how to see it, how to visualize it, how to experience it. In one single line you can find in 526 of Savitri. There suddenly she met her secret soul. There suddenly she met her secret soul. How is that experience? Met suddenly. Secret soul. Soul is a secret because it is not coming to the fore, working behind the veil, concealed, hidden. There itself there is a meeting, great meeting of secret soul. How is that experience? How the experience of identity of soul with soul or psychic being with Jivatma? It is 527. Couple of lines I want to recite before you. Here in the chamber of flame and light they met. Already I have quoted that a domain of deathless sun in a house of transparent truth and light. There suddenly she met her secret soul, and how it is the scenario, circumstances, and how is the experience. Here in this chamber of flame and light they met. Initially we have already discussed transparent truth and light. Still in the quotes here. Here in this chamber of flame and light they met. They looked upon each other and knew themselves, the secret deity and its human part. Don't think that they are unaware of everything. They know each other. They have been guided by each other, working with the help of each other. They are synchronization. There is synchronization. Being synchronized, they are working, they know. Here in the chamber of flame and light, they met. They met. Next step, looked upon each other. Third, knew themselves, the secret deity and the human part. Knew themselves, the secret deity and its human part. The calm immortal and the struggling soul. Calm immortal and the struggling soul. Then with a magic transformation speed, they rushed into each other and grew one. See what the experience. Then with a magic transformation speed is there. How is that speed? Transformation speed. And speed, transformation speed, and before that, one more adjective has been added by the Lord. Magic transformation speed. What they do here? They rushed into each other and grew one, no separate self, only one self that is existing, true self. They rushed into each other and grew one. Very interesting. Again, I want to quote before you because it is almost the legible point for you to be known, to be understood, to be taken seriously. How is that meeting? How can you experience the meeting? Identity of psychic with Jivatma. Here in this chamber of flame and light, they met. They looked upon each other and knew their past. There is a meeting where in the chamber of flame and light. Then what is happening? Looked upon each other. Next step, knew themselves. What? How? The secret deity and the luminous part. Secret deity working in us and the luminous deity. The calm immortal and the struggling soul. Soul is struggling. There it is calm immortal. After knowing each other, what they did, the next step, then with a magic transformation speed. Magic transformation speed. Just imagine how that velocity will be, speed will be. They rushed into each other, rushed into each other, no separate self, as river pours into the mighty sea. They rushed into each other and grew one. Just imagine how that scenario will be. We can't here expect because living in the naked, unabased self, staying in outer consciousness, maybe it will be very difficult for to visualize how the scenario will be. How the scenario will be, but it is true. That separate self is gone. Between what? Secret deity, human part, calm immortal, struggling soul. They are rustling into each other and growing one. And they are in the secret chamber. They are meeting. And what is the next phase of action? Made a temple clean when called the mighty mother to descend. Already in the mother book, Sri Aurobindo has clarified. If you wish to install there the living presence, keep the temple clean. How shall we keep the temple clean? We don't know where really the temple is. Another part, the temples are visible on the way. Maybe churches, gurudwaras, your mosques, and the big temples of different deities of Hindu mythology. You can find, but here in the course, temples to the Godhead none can see, totally invisible. And if you wish to install there the living presence, keep the temple clean. Very nice thing, but how can we be able to make the temple clean? And the next step here after the secret deity, when in the secret chamber they meet, they rush into each other and grow one in that enlightened domain. The domain of deathless sun in the hour of transparent truth and light where they are really meeting. The next step is made temple clean when called the mighty mother to descend. Otherwise, where shall the mighty mother stand? What about the who is the mighty mother? That divine mother we are speaking. The Sri Aurobindo identifies her, clarifies, explains. The might of all that never yet came down, never yet came down. Here, made temple clean when called to the mighty mother to descend. But in the outwardly we are calling, the world's desire compelled her mortal birth, just go to that side. And when she is coming, a mighty stranger in the human field, making no bargain, no compromise, not bending the head, making no signature of weak assent. She knows the purpose of my descent is something else. I have to fulfill. That the world unknowing for the world she stood. There is entirely this world who has aspired, called, had the desire of the divine mother's mortal birth. After calling, after aspiring, forgot. The world unknowing for the world she stood. How can we make the temple clean when that temple is almost actually packed with ego sentiments and the ruthless dots. How can it be clean? Clean when It has to be, because where there is the presence of light, there is no presence of the darkness. That is what the issue is. That is what the reason. So when this you can find the deathless domain of transparent light and the truth. There is the secret chamber, there is the meeting, they rush into each other and grow one. Where is the place for uncleanness? And when the temple is cleaned, the mighty mother to descend, that is the time has come. She comes down in response. She comes down. How is that scenario? How she comes? How she takes the place? That is what the requirement. And here in the course. As in a flash from a supernal light. That is what is the dignity of Sri Aurobindo's Savitri. That's what she has got. Magnum opus of Sri Aurobindo. As in a flash from a, not from the lightning, thunder, where the clouds crash around each other, but it is a flash from a supernal light, a living image of the original power, a face, a form, came down into her heart. Something it is also happening with you. But are you aware? Do you feel? You have seen a face, a form came down into her heart and made of it, it's a temple and pure abode. Temple and pure abode. There itself, I think you have heard the request, call, that submission from Satyavan. Descend, O happiness, with thy moon gold feet. Descend, O happiness, with thy moon gold feet. After two lines, Sri Aurobindo. These are from Sri Aurobindo, but the Satyavan request. Enter into my heart thy chamber and thy shrine. Enter into my heart. What is that? Heart, thy chamber, and thy shrine. Here also a face, a form came down. Face and the form. Both came down into her heart. Into her heart. Why this heart? That is the pure center. Living abode of that infinity. And made of it the temple. It's a temple and a pure abode. In other course, your heart is my regular abode. And behind the heart, the presence of the psychic being is very much prominent, very much clear. And made of it, after this descent, coming down into the heart, that heart, made of it means this heart, it's temple and pure abode. That is what the requirement, needful thing what was supposed to be done. And after this experience, we are going to go for some concluding lines. Living instrument of the divine, conclusion, how we can be. We are here so far discussing this divine worker. We have come here as instruments. But so far this psychic and transformation is concerned. How can we be the instrument? The living instrument of the divine. Sri Aurobindo quotes in page 53. Even if the struggling world is left outside, one man's perfection still can save the world. That is what the requirement, that must be the game goal. Even if the struggling world is left outside, world is struggling, let it stay outside. One man's perfection still can save the world. Still can save the world. Try to change yourself. Be the change we want to see. If you want to change the world, try to change yourself. If only one person's transformation is possible, that can also transform the world. There is one a high proximity to the skies. High proximity to the skies is own. A fast betrothal of the earth to heaven. Fast betrothal of the earth to heaven. Earth and heaven. They look at each other, but never can they desire. Because there is something different. Earth with its sorrows, dream of perfect heaven. Heaven with its laughter, dreams of perfect earth. They are not at perfect. Their perfection is still lacking in each other's view. So a fast betrothal of the earth and heaven, a deep concord between life and the truth and life. A camp is pitched in the human time. Camp is pitched in the human time. but we are unable to understand what really that is, who is there, camp is for whom. That is the psychic, and we have to go for the psychic transformation. Thank you.